Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Colquhoun Park here in Palmerston North, Manawatū. It's the final day of the Trans-Tasman series between New Zealand and Australia. This time on Diamond 1, getting the feature is the U18s. It's their fourth game of the 3 days. You would think there'd be more, but it's been disrupted. But it's beautiful here on Sunday, ready for international softball. It's the U18s kicking things off for us on the broadcast today. We've already had the U23s out there, and it's time for the U18s to have feature on Diamond 1. Damien Collins with the play-by-play for Beyond the Dugout Broadcasting, and in the booth calling the colour, the Hall of Famer, Jackie Smith. Well, we're going to cross to ground announcer Jason Gerbes, aka Chopper, to take us through the formalities in the opening.
Today, number 80, Ezekiel Turnbull. At right field, hitting in the sixth spot, number 37, Jonathan Faber. And number 15, Max Hamhow. I believe it's Hayhow, sorry, apologies for the writing. And the eighth spot, the shortstop, number 63, Carter Sears. And at second base, hitting in the ninth spot, is number 19, Lachlan Tethridge. A starting pitcher for this afternoon, number 39, Jackson Maluga. And the substitutes for Australia, number 5, Connor Buxton, 3, Tyson Buswell, 6, Chad Charlesworth, 15, Alex Duncalf, 96, Noah Powell, and 33, Thompson Tenana Markia. The coaching staff for the under-18s, assistant coaches, Callum Beashall, Jake Reynolds, and the head coach, the magician himself, Adam Rhinefresh. I give you the Australian under-18 men's side, ladies and gentlemen. And now, your home team from New Zealand, coming out of the third base dugout. Lead-off batter, third baseman, number 1, Richard Terude. And at centre field, batting 2, number 24, Norkai Demelmunch. The big hitter, the catcher, number 14, Wellingtonian Mason Carey. The starting right fielder for New Zealand, number 19, Gabriel Tahi. At first base, number 10, Counties Monaco, Cole McWilliams. The starting second baseman, the pride of the South, number 17, Rico Ratu. And at left field, number 5, Hunter Bailey. Hitting in the 8th spot for New Zealand, the designated player, number 7, Romana Kumaroa. And your starting shortstop for New Zealand, number 3, Joseph Hall. And the starting pitcher for New Zealand, number 15, James McCartney. And the substitutes for New Zealand, number 9, Polder Cooper Nicola, 11, Thor Darlington, number 18, Toby Smith, 4, Boston Allen, 8, Tamihana Star, and number 12, Tyrone Robinson. And your coaching staff for the Junior Black Sox, assistant coaches Isaac Fletcher and David Gollan, head coach Jason Kumaroa, New Zealand Junior Black Sox. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to announce the officials for this game. Doing the plate from Hawke's Bay, Eric Horsham. Your first base official, Stephen Cooper. And at third base, it's your local boy, it's the local lad, Doug Ool. Official scorers for this one, Lil Nātara, Alison Kingsington, assisted by none other than the chairman of Softball New Zealand, Hoani Lambert. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please be upstanding and remove your headwear for the playing of the national anthem of Australia and New Zealand. The two teams will now meet in the middle of the diamond to shake hands in an act of international goodwill.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the formalities are well underway here with the national anthem of New Zealand and Australia. I don't know about you, Jackie. I mean, I would imagine after you wearing the silver fern for many, many years, hearing that anthem before a game gets me started. What about you?
Yeah, it always has. You know, there's those few things when you play for New Zealand, when you have the honour of wearing the silver fern. For me, it was always hearing the national anthem. That was the piece that always sort of grounded me, made me feel proud and connected.
Yeah.
Really connected to Aotearoa. Means a lot. So I'm sure that the young men that are out there today will be feeling the same, and probably even more so for what we're about to see.
Yeah, let's cross to the traditional New Zealand haka. Here we go. I mean, if you didn't get amped after an anthem, then you're definitely amped after a haka. The challenge has been set, ladies and gentlemen. It's game 4 between the U18s, New Zealand and Australia.
They're hitting.
And we are almost set to go.
Sorry about that, Damien. I just got a little bit excited. I don't know what it is about finals day.
Yep. No, I'm with you, mate. I'm absolutely with you. There you go, Chopper in the background, getting the crowd amping. Big shoes to fill, whoever's on the mic next. Oh, dang it, it's me.
That's you.
Well, we are all set. So Australia going to bat first. So let's have a quick look at the fielding lineup for New Zealand. James McCartney gets the start on the hill, pitching to his Wellingtonian teammate Mason Carey. At first base is Cole McWilliams. Second base is Rico Ratu from Canterbury. Richard Turudi from Franklin in the hot corner. At shortstop, Joseph Hill. And left to right in the outfield, Hunter Bailey, Norkai Demalmonch, and Gabriel Tahiti rounds out the outfield for New Zealand. The batting order for this young Australian team in the DP position doing lead off is Austin Gooden, Thomas McCarroll on deck, and in the 3 spot is Flynn Eddards. Blake Turner, Ezekiel Turnbull, Jonathan Fabar, Max Hayhow, Carter Shears, and Lachlan Tetheridge will round out the 9 with Jackson Maluga getting the ball on the hill here for the Junior Steelers. Well, Jackie, we're on day 3. How have you found the last 3 days of this Trans-Tasman series between the 18s and the 23s?
Well, it'd be remiss of me if I didn't want to, just from the front, talk about the weather.
Oh, okay.
Over the last 3 days, there you go. I bet everyone was saying, God, I hope she doesn't talk about the weather again. But anyway, it didn't start so well. It got better yesterday. And today is probably the best day, almost perfect, not too much wind. We can see a little bit on the flags.
Yeah.
Diamond's looking great.
Picture.
Yeah, everybody's ready, but it's just got that energy and that vibe.
Yep.
Yeah, that you expect on going into a last day of 100%. An international tournament. You can feel a bit of angst as well from teams and energy and you can see the focus. And real determination, and it's just great, isn't it? I love being at international tournaments on a finals day because this is also when it all counts.
Yep.
Right, you got to bring
100%.
your A game. You got to bring your A game, and this game here will mean a lot to the New Zealand team if they want to keep alive, if they want to keep in the comp for the under 18s. They'll have another game at 3 o'clock today. Yep. We know that. So it's 2-1 at the moment. They really need to get this one. Get the W, so that next game will really be a tough competition for both teams. Yeah,
100%. The other 3 o'clock game on Diamond 1 is the best of 5 tied at 2 apiece is the under 23s. But first, we have our future to get underway. It's the Australia U18, the Junior Steelers taking on the New Zealand under 18 side, the Junior Black Sox. We can't wait for this one. James McCartney on the hill. He's going to be pitching to Austin Gooden. Let's go. First offering is a called strike. A caution behind the dish, calling the balls and strikes in this one. We'll get to know our officials throughout the game. Austin Gooden, the designated player for this Australian team. Handy pitcher as well. But what I've noticed about these kids, they can pretty much play anywhere.
Yeah, they're at that age, aren't they? I think when they're still sort of finding what is that specialty position.
Yep.
They're able to, I think, at this age group, be adaptable within the team. Coaches tend to like to use their players in more than one position. So that's just the stage that they're at. And then eventually you go up to, we see that in the 23s, there's, a number of players that play in specific positions. They don't tend to move. They've really cemented what they're specialised in.
Absolutely. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Goes outside to level it for 2-2. Jackie, you played in a number of internationals, called a few now. What will both teams looking to be doing earlier on in this game?
Yeah, so depending on what their strategy is, I'm not going to guess at what that is. Yeah, but as I mentioned at the front end then, particularly for New Zealand, it's going to be really, really important.
Gets them on the outside with the KC.
There you see. So they'll have a plan,
Yep.
right? They'll have a clear plan from a pitching perspective. We know it starts in the middle, right? You've got to hit those spots, whatever they've decided is the strategy. Are they going to sit on the outside of the plate? Are they going to throw it low? Are they going to throw change-ups, rise ball? They really need to unsettle the Australian hitters. That's what it's all about. Pitcher will keep you in the game, but the hitting, you got to score runs. You got to get runners on base to win games, yeah? So both teams will be focused on ensuring that whatever game plan they have, they stick to that. They trust it and they stay focused on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Through the zone, cool strike on that one. So another strike puts Thomas McCarroll, the centre fielder, in the hole. 0-2. McCartney, I caught up with him yesterday. Came and saw me as I was writing up a team sheet. Good to catch up with the young man. Asked him, how you finding the block, mate? Because not many of the young pitchers out here have had this opportunity to pitch off the block or be used to the mat. And he's loving it. Absolutely loving it. He had a little bit of experience over in America in the off-season, where, of course, there's no mats over there. And he loves it because he can jump outwards. Use the whole circle, you know?
Yeah, I was just going to say, they must drive off that block too, yeah? Do they get a bit of a push off the block? Oh, he's on fire.
He sure is. 5 pitches to the first batter, 4 to the next. And he's already got a second strikeout of the day.
Here we see the replay there. And getting that outside of the plate drop ball there. And it just sort of looked like it's dropped and curved away from the hitter, which is exactly what you want.
Gabriel Tate in at right field. First offering to Flynn Eddards is a strike swing.
He's certainly getting in early.
Yeah.
So again, is that part of the strategy? We'll see that as we go throughout the game. Do they stay consistent to getting in early, getting ahead? Typically, that's what pitchers would like to do. They don't want to get behind.
Absolutely. Up out of the zone for the ball. As you see, the scenes here at Colquhoun Park filling up nicely. It was a bit of a struggle to find a park when we got here this morning.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, it's been a hive of activity for New Zealand softball this weekend. The under-15s have had their training camps for the girls and the boys. And then, of course, the juniors and the majors. Majors are the 23s here in New Zealand for those international viewers. So it's all go. And I love this facility. It's good people in the Manawatū, but this park, yeah, it's pretty cool.
So there we see McCartney just really mixing things up.
Yeah, fouled away. We'll take that to 2-2. 2 down here in the top of the first. Flynn Eddards, the first baseman. Hit up the middle where Rico Ratu will make a routine play to Cole McWilliams for the first outs, and that will retire the side after a quick 1-2-3. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the bottom of the first right after these.
Being a Manawatū local, supporting our community is at the heart of everything we do. From the Aoranui Hospice, Just Silch and Replay connecting second-hand sports gear, we make giving back our mission. Thank you for all the great feedback with over 1,500 5-star reviews. It's a great reward for our team that their hard work is acknowledged by our customers. And now with the addition of Order Care, we're a one-stop shop. The team are proud to have grown alongside the community, and with your continued support, we look forward to the journey ahead.
be the best? Fight for what's never been done. Push past the pain. Reach beyond. The pain you feel today will be the strength you feel tomorrow. Someone has to be the best. Why not you?
Jack Links presents Messin' with Sasquatch.
Watch this.
Don't mess with other snacks. Choose Jack Links jerky made with 100% beef.
No mai, haere mai. Welcome back to Colquhoun Park. You're watching Beyond the Dugout Broadcasting's presentation of the New Zealand-Australia U18 Trans-Tasman Series. It's game number 4 for these two. 2 wins to Australia, 1 to New Zealand. Getting that all-important win yesterday would have given them a lot of confidence going into the final day. The New Zealand dugout. Everyone amping for this one. Lead off Richard Tururi into bat now. From the hot corner. Had the young man in the booth last night during the 23s. Good young kid from Franklin. Good things happening in Franklin at the moment. Every kid we've had in the booth over this week, good young men.
Good young men. Good young men. Yeah, good, and that's good to see. Passionate about the game.
Well,
Lots of nice wee mentions about the people.
Yeah.
The biggest thing about the people that support, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Support them and their clubs that they play for. It's it's great to listen to them being grateful. And knowing that there's a lot of people that wrap around them, that up them and support them, yeah?
that's exactly it. Well, let's give you some lineouts since we're in the first. Richard Turu with the lead off for New Zealand. Norkai to Malmonch in the 2 spot. Mason Carey batting 3. Gabriel Taitei in the cleanup batting 4. Colmick Williams, Rico Ratu, Hunter Bailey in the 7 spot. Romada Kumaroa is the designated player batting 8. And Joseph Hill is in the 9 spot. Out away from Malmonch. In the outfield, Jonathan Fabar is in at right field. Thomas McCarroll centre and Max Hayhow in at left field. In the hot corner, Ezekiel Turnbull, Carter Shears gets the start at shortstop for this one. Lachlan Tetheridge at second base. First base is Flynn Edards. Behind the dish doing the catching is Blake Turner. And Jackson Maluga gets the ball and the start for this Junior Steelers team. Oh, 0-2 the count after a couple of foul balls. And gets him swinging down low for the strikeouts. And early indications might be a pitching drill today.
Yeah. And that's quite common. That's what you'll see on finals day, yeah? That's what you need. You need your pitchers to step up.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're going to keep you in the game until your hitters can get on base and score some runs for you. But that's generally what will happen. You want your pitchers coming out strong and confident and really stamping their mark.
Yeah,
so no
100%.
surprising that we'll see that in the early stages of the game, Damien.
Yeah, get used to the umpire as well. What's he calling? Is he right on that edge or is he giving a little?
Yeah, that's right. And that will transfer over to your hitters.
Yeah.
Right, once they know also if your pitchers and your catchers can say and feed that information through the team, they'll say, hey, look, this is where they're calling it.
Mason Carey gets a piece, sends it to right field where Jonathan Fabar is under it to make the catch, and that will be the third out. We have one completed in this one with no score. We'll be back right after these.
Being a Manawatū local, supporting our community is at the heart of everything we do. From the Aotearoa Hospice, Just Silch, and Replay connecting second-hand sports gear, we make giving back our mission. Thank you for all the great feedback with over 1,500 five-star reviews. It's a great reward for our team that their hard work is acknowledged by our customers. And now with the addition of Order Care, we're a one-stop shop. The team are proud to have grown alongside the community, and with your continued support, we look forward to the journey ahead.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Colquhoun Park. You're watching New Zealand versus Australia in the U18s. We're in the top of the second innings here. James McCartney with the ball in the middle for New Zealand. And first pitch of the innings is another strike to his tally. Into bat now is Blake Turner, the catcher. Batting in the fourth spot here for Australia. Gets a piece, sending it down to the hot corner. Richard Taruti, who makes the play over to Cole McWilliams for the first outs.
Here we see that replay ground ball hit hard to the third baseman, Richard Taruti, as you mentioned. Tell you what, it didn't hold on to the ball for very long. He's not mucking around.
Not mucking around in the hot corner, that's for sure.
Get that ball over there and get the out.
Well, speaking of hot corners, from third base is Ezekiel Turnbull.
Mum says it's okay to call him Zeke.
Okay, if Mum said, sweet as.
See the focus there? See the focus there in the outfield?
Yeah, Gabriel Taitei.
Yep.
One thing I learned many moons ago, Jackie, is you never mess with a softball mum.
Yeah, well, they've done the hard yards.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey.
1-1. One ball, one strike here on Turnbull. Gives it a swing, pops it back, foul. Waiting for the bang. One ball, two. James McCartney on the hill here for New Zealand from the Porneka Kilburnie Club in Wellington. Club with rich history in our game, and he launches back for the strikeouts.
And you see that last pitch. That drop ball working well for him.
Turnbull not happy with the swing. Gives the ground that's your fault. Jonathan Fabar into bat now. We were all saying Fabar until Mum corrected us in the pub the other night. As did a number of parents from Australia. Appreciate you all though. Ball, first offering to Fabar. Inside pitch for the ball as well. 2 balls, no strikes. Here on the right fielder.
And this is probably the first time he's probably got behind. He's been wanting to get ahead pretty early in the piece with the hitters.
Pulls the strings on that one, fouled away to the Magician. Coach at third base. Good to see so many people here watching this one. Grandstands, chocker. The outfield's got the fold-out chairs strung along the fence line. That goes foul down right. And McCartney comes back quickly to level the count, 2-2.
Yeah, you can see that's clearly his drop ball works well for him. Gets behind or he wants to get ahead. That certainly seems to be his best pitch, his dominant pitch. So you talked earlier about the strategy. What would they be thinking? They need to be picking up on, from an Australian perspective, offensively. What's his go-to? What does he start with? What does he follow up with? He's thrown the change up a couple of times as well.
Yep.
So he's got a mix, but certainly that drop ball would be the one. But if you don't get down to it, and you got that bat plane and be able to drive that, it's actually a tough pitch to hit. Ideally you'd get a fly ball, maybe, Damien, off that.
Well, the first walk of the game. Jonathan Fabar is now safe on first base, and that's going to bring to bat the left fielder, Max Hayhow. Batting in the 7 spots with a runner on and 2 down here in the bottom of the second. Swing on and missed for strike 1.
And we see McCartney getting ahead.
Here, caution mic'd up there, you can see. So anytime we want to jump into those conversations, we can. Cole McWilliams
replay on the pickoff at first.
Yeah, Mason Carey will throw it all day. Cole McWilliams just keeping the glove on him until he called time.
Yeah. And it's good. It's important that you keep the runners on their toes here, but also you want to keep that lead down because it can affect you if they get too big a jump. It could turn a single into a double.
Well, that's fouled away. Looks like we're getting a special guest in the booth. Carter Shears. Oh, no, still Max Hayhow. Oh, well, it looked like they were going to go and steal. Did for Bart, but gets held up with the gun from Mason Carey.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. And that's a good sign. That's a good sign for New Zealand, right? Obviously having a catcher with a good arm that's quick, also out of the crouch position, getting the ball down on the money, held them up. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Fabar has a few wheels, but he definitely stopped in his tracks halfway through and thought, no, I'm going to get back quickly here.
Or he was worried he got the signal wrong and thought, oh, I wasn't supposed to go. I'm going to get back just in case I get in trouble.
Yeah. If I'm an out when I wasn't supposed to run.
When I wasn't supposed to run.
Sun picking up here, glare off the diamond. Swung on and missed for strike 3. And that will retire the side, leaving Fabar on first base. We have no score in this one. We'll be back with the bottom of the second right after these.
And here we are going into the top of the second. Oh, it should be the bottom of the second. That's where we're at. New Zealand coming up to bat. We've seen a little bit of action here. Australia leaving a runner on base. But New Zealand managed to come out of that inning, leaving that runner left on base. And we're going into the bottom of the second inning.
We sure are. Here we go. And into the booth. Joining us at this time, the New Zealand Developing Sox under-15 boys coach, Stacy Taylor. G'day, mate.
G'day, kia ora kora. How are you?
Very,
Kia
very
ora,
well.
Stacey.
Mate, it's a hive activity this weekend here at Colquhoun. How you found it so far?
Yeah, no, it's been a really positive weekend for us, Damien. Obviously, the weather seemed a little bit tricky.
Weather count.
We've been talking about that all.
We had a flight cancelled from Auckland, so our Auckland boys had to fly to Wellington and be shuttled down, and so we didn't meet till very late on the Friday. But hey, we set some standards and some expectations, and just really happy with the way they responded to everything, the game time, the weather, how we came to the park and what we did. So really happy with the weekend, and not just the softball standard, but the standard of character of our 30-man squad.
Oh, awesome. I know a lot of them would have been meeting themselves for a first time, so delay in travel isn't necessarily a bad thing, is it?
Yes, because we wanted to do some stuff in the afternoon, so we didn't get a training in. We didn't get to do any of our fitness, which they probably enjoyed. But, you know, that's some baseline stuff that we'll get from them eventually that we can put in the New Zealand softball database and track them along the way. But, these young men, they came together. They, from the deep south up to the far north, and, they were really good. They gelled really quickly. And then we turned up on Saturday morning and started playing some softball in the rain.
Yes, they did. On the grass
much
as
like
well.
everybody else was.
Who was on washing?
Old manager Robbo. Robbo's fantastic. Part of our whole kaupapa is that I set the standards on the field and he sets them off. And a really good job of all that stuff. And so one of the things that we speak about is character, and that's character around the diamond, it's character in the dugout, it's character in the kitchen, and so getting a few compliments from those places was really nice. The ladies in the kitchen were amazing for us all week, and so we paid them back by putting our rubbish in the bin and tidying our tables, and that's they just love that. And so that was really cool. Outside of the softball.
Yeah, 100%. Stacey, you've been around the game a very long time, and you've got an education background as well. So you coming into this role, how long have you had it now?
Say that again, sorry?
Yeah, how long you had the role now?
This is my second year, so my first full year.
Yep. So have you, with those transferable skills with education, have you brought this into the program? Because it starts with the U15s, I guess?
Yeah, 100%. I think it even goes right through probably to Thomas's team where, you have to kind of set expectations, you have to kind of get foundational learning. And I know a lot of the players coming through are really, really young, and some of them are there because they're superb athletes and they haven't turned into ball players yet. And so you've really got to not set the bar low, but start at the bottom and work your way up and find where everybody is and start catering for those needs along the way. And easier for me because they're a lot younger, so we can really start at the bottom in terms of softball IQ and where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to, to the point of how we treat the jersey, which is a big thing for me, never getting to that stage. Is how we treat the jersey. We keep the letters up. We make sure it's at the top of our bags. We don't eat and drink in it. We do all those really cool things. And being able to teach that and see these kids respond to that is amazing. So start at the bottom and work our way up, just like in teaching.
Yeah, just like in teaching. Stace, we talk about that program quickly. What is the correlation between the next step for these guys? Are you involved at all with conversations in the juniors? Like, are they? How's that development transition going up? That pathway, if you will.
Yeah, the pathways are there. I know JK and Sevi are very new to the job. It's their first time with the team. Golly and Jono as well. So they're probably finding their feet. In terms of my role is just to get them ready for that next job, that next part of their journey, I guess. by that, you know, setting up all these foundational standards. So when they move into the 18s and they start to head towards a World Cup, they know all these things already. They don't have to relearn them. They can only be reminded and sort of move on. So I guess there's all that. There's obviously the play. You know, we've got to select teams to go away in tournaments. Oh, it's nice hit up the middle. Oh, nice play too.
There you go. Well done, Stacey. While he's here, he does a little bit of commentating at the same time.
Don't even get him started. He would too. You want to stick around?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we'll take a quick break and we'll be back with the top of the third right after these. No mai, haere mai. Welcome back here to Colquhoun Park in Palmerston North, Manawatū. You're watching the U18 New Zealand Australia Trans-Tasman Series. This is game number 4. 2 wins to Australia, 1 to New Zealand. We're in the top of the third. We've got Stacy Taylor, the head coach of the under-15 New Zealand Developing Sox, in the booth, answering all the questions.
Yeah, and I'm excited to ask a question. We talked about that off air. Tēnā koe, Stacey. So, really interesting kōrero. You talked about the importance of the characteristics and building the culture, understanding the kaupapa. Why are we here? What's our purpose? Yeah, and then the people that surround our players and awhi them to create these softballers. I want to know, when do we start to focus on performance?
Yeah, I mean, this is the first part. This is the first part of our high performance program is at 15U level, under 15 level. For us, you know, it's still foundational work. We're talking about the professionalism off the diamond, so that carries to on the diamond. How we, the plays we make, how we respond. Obviously, they're not making these teams if they're not good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're getting a lot of, and I think you can attest to this, Jackie, that back in the day we had a lot of ball players. Now we've got a lot of athletes, and we've got to turn our athletes into ball players. And by that I mean, you know, softball IQ. We're teaching our catcher sequence. We're making sure we're working with our battery really well and getting the right people in to do that. We're changing positions. So one of the things that I worked on this weekend was putting kids out of position. So they turn up as a shortstop. How do you play first base? Because there's actually a kid here that could be a lot better than you. Or how do you play in the outfield? You know, and our catchers have to be so more nimble and kind of physical these days, where we used to sit with big catchers who could hit the ball and throw the ball hard. Now there's a lot of movement behind the plate, so it's sighting those things, putting them in a position to become better, and also giving them utility value, I think, at this age. So when they move through, they're going to grow, and you know we don't often see a 6 foot 520 kg shortstop in softball. Maybe baseball, but not softball. So we're looking for these trim athletes who move well laterally. If they don't, we might move them over to the right side of the diamond, or we might put them on first because they have a great glove, feet don't work so well, but you know we need to keep sticks in the lineup. So we're still looking at all that little stuff that's going on. But yeah, talent identification is paramount. And we're going to get it wrong, you know, and that's a big thing. At this level, parents ask questions. How come my son didn't make it? My son plays here, my son does this. And we actually have to say, well, this is what we identified. We're not going to get it right 100% of the time. That's why we pick big squads, so that we can come and have weekends like this, see them under pressure, see how they react, and see what they can do, so we can pick a smaller squad to go on tour.
Yeah, and I think, understanding what you're talking about, and actually throughout the last few days, Damien, you and I have identified, without even knowing, that there are a lot of players that are very versatile, that can play a number of positions, i.e. pitchers. You know, like, yes, back in the day, and I could say back in the day to myself, but we did have pitchers that did play maybe one other position and also maybe get to hit. They play all over the place now. Yeah?
Well, that's a big thing for us. The way I've seen, I've selected, I want to say 3.5, maybe 4 pitchers who are just pitchers. And I think that's a big thing moving forward. We need to get just pitchers back in our game.
Yes.
But like you were just saying, Jackie, I've got so many shortstop, second baseman, centre fielders that can pitch and pitch really well. So keeping those guys available, giving them a primary position, you know, at shortstop or outfield, knowing that when we get into games, and it's happened this weekend, we don't have to burn a pitcher. We've got someone there that can come and get 3 outs. They don't have to strike players out. They can throw hard down balls, get some ground outs, get out of the game, and then you haven't burned a pitcher for the rest of the tournament and moving on. But we've got some really big pitchers coming through. So Elijah Markia, Pops, Thomas's boy, he's a big lad, well over 6 foot.
It's going to be a unit.
Hugo Howes from the deep south, another 6 foot plus who you have come in and just I'm really impressed by both of them. Come out and throwing strikes. They've come out, they've been hit, they've got strikeouts, they've gone through this whole roller coaster of emotions, but just so calm-headed for people so young. And I think if we can keep those two and the next up in the game, then our future's bright in that area. And I know we have good pitchers, but COVID kind of cost us a lot of international pitching, and so you know, Thomas is going to go away with a staff, and I think he's going to have to treat it like baseball, you know, 2 innings here, 3 innings there, and so on. So hopefully getting back to these pitchers that just want to pitch. I want the ball, I want to throw. I don't care about hitting, I don't care about that. I just want to throw the ball hard. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah. And if I could say, I think over the years we probably created a mindset of our players with a fixed mindset that if you were a pitcher, you had to go the hard, you had to go the full game. And if you couldn't go the full game, well, then you were probably not going to get picked. Yeah, so it's really changed. We've changed our thinking, I think, as leaders and coaches of our kids, saying, to your point, changing the strategy, changing the opportunity, that whole narrative, the whole mindset. I'm thinking, if you want to hold the ball, you want to get in there, then yes, if you can give us an inning, totally aligns with that. Yeah, and it's creating more opportunity, isn't it, for our players? I was talking to Michelle Kingy yesterday, and she said she's got 10 pitchers.
Yeah, we were looking over there. I think every team has 10 pitchers, doesn't it? But
like goal kickers.
But, you know, it's the same.
Yeah, but that's right.
Yeah, and she, you know, I talked with Michelle a lot about, you know, because we're obviously going through the same systems, and she said they can just do everything. And it's so cool to see that girls want to pitch, you know, and I think in the boys' game, Cole, Tane, Ben, they've made all these other positions really exciting. You know, I want to be a centre fielder, I want to be a shortstop, I want to hit. But that guy in the middle is the most important. And so being able to, you know, have those guys available to you is huge. And one of the things we worked on this weekend is in every single game we played, the pitchers have gone the distance. In trouble or not, I've made sure that they've had to get themselves out of trouble. They've had to pitch multiple innings without any break, and today was the first day where I could just 2 innings here, 2 innings there, 2 innings there. So it was really cool.
And I think we touched on as well the importance of what it does is build resilience. You know, resilience in our end, going back to characteristics, helping our players build that resilience is key in the game, in any sport, isn't it? Because there'll be times when you're in your comfort zone, when everything's going right, but there'll be many more times when you're not.
Yes.
And how do you get through it?
Well, the rain helped us out with that, having to move in and out of the dugout while we waited for it to pass, and just really impressed with these pitchers that just kept warm, put a jacket on, sat down. When the rain stopped, they got back out there, and the next pitch they threw was a strike. And I mean, that's huge for someone of 14 to be able to go and do that, and not let it affect them, that they're on and off, and come out and get out. It was really one of those things that we're talking to Robbo and the other boys about, that just seeing the mental strength in such young people was really cool.
Nice.
Very cool.
Nice.
Stacey, we've touched on a lot of things, mate, but just lastly, what's next for you guys?
So, just talking to Jace before, we were looking at travelling to Australia to tour later in the year.
Wicked.
I know Mitch is really keen, so maybe it'll be between both of us, heading over to Queensland, maybe end of winter, so we get some good weather. And I think it's a really good start to bring that back into the development program, so they're used to the travel, they're used to playing overseas, they're used to playing against different pitches and teams, and also, just rewarding them for having a really good, tournament like this. I was saying too, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if we could do this every 2 years, bouncing between the two countries,
100%.
from the Black Sox down to the 15? So
Yeah.
it'd be really cool to see that happen.
Yeah, you'll get my vote.
Yeah, 100%. Well, Stace, proud of you, mate. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure. And,
Number here, Stacey.
Cheers, guys.
Stacy Taylor, the head coach of the under-15 developing Sox men. We go way back. I'm glad he called me Damien. Well, back to the action, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the sixth batter of this innings. Australia have opened up with their first run. Carter Shears got a walk and then was moved by the sacrifice bunt from Lachlan Tetheridge, who's been doing that a lot this tournament. Then Austin Gooden stepped up to bat. He was the second out caught at shortstop. But then Thomas McCarroll stepped up and smacked it to right field, where it scored the run of Carter Shears. And then he stood up on two with the double. And then Flynn Eddards got hit by pitch. He's now safe on first. And Blake Turner sees it go through the zone for the third out. And the KC, well, that was good timing to wrap it up. Well, we are going to go to the bottom of the third here. It is Australia 1, New Zealand 0. Back after these.
Being a Manawatū local, supporting our community is at the heart of everything we do. From the Aoranui Hospice, Just Silch, and Replay connecting second-hand sports gear, we make giving back our mission. Thank you for all the great feedback with over 1,500 five-star reviews. It's a great reward for our team that their hard work is acknowledged by our customers. And now with the addition of Order Care, we're a one-stop shop. The team are proud to have grown alongside the community, and with your continued support, we look forward to the journey ahead.
Sometimes, virtual reality begs for more reality. Jack Links is...
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we're in the bottom of the third of the U18 New Zealand-Australia game in this Trans-Tasman series that has been put on here at Colquhoun Park over the last few days. Raumara Kumaroa, the designated player, into bat now. He's batting in the 8th spot. Hits it back to the pitcher. Maluga can't hold it in the glove, and Kumaroa will be safe on first base. And Jackie, that's how you want to hit.
That's how you want to hit. He's the DP. He's obviously there for a reason. Just couldn't get a hold of that. Maluga on the mound.
Been pretty impressed with the pitching fielding this weekend.
Yeah,
because they've had a lot hit back to them, haven't they?
They have had a lot hit back up the middle, and they're not there just to look pretty. We need them as an extra fielder. They're also not just there for pitching, they're also there to help field. But great start by Kumaroa. That's what New Zealand will want. They'll want to bounce back and get that one run back.
Quickly, yes. Boston Allen's going to come out and do the running for Kumaroa. So with a runner on one, that is going to bring to bat in the 9th spot Joseph Hill, the shortstop. Joseph Hill has been batting very well during the last couple of days.
Joseph Hill, I must say, is sporting. Oh, hard luck.
First pitch popped up straight away in first base. Flynn Eddard's catching that. Looked like the sacrifice bunt was supposed to go down, move the runner into scoring position, but unfortunately unable to convert.
Yeah, CBC just in the corner there, just getting under the ball, creating that ball to pop up, and an easy out there for Australia.
Richard Turudi into bat now. Will swing and a miss on that first one, I think, but the catcher unable to glove that one, so Kumaroa will, Boston Allen will scamper down to second base.
And look, I think, without knowing, it just looked like to me that Kumaroa is in as DP, certainly hitting the ball well. Oh yeah, I thought he was safe.
Boston Allen gets under the glove, goes sliding into the hot corner 3.
On that pass ball, we see the pass ball there and scampering down to third base. Yeah, and just getting under that.
Blake Turner behind the dish for Australia, doing well to get it on the bounce off the screen. So lead off, Turudi squares up, says yes he did. I don't think that was a squeeze play at all. Boston Allen hadn't moved from third.
Yeah, and you may see the right side of the field has actually, and if you can't see, ladies and gentlemen, the right side of the field is sort of squeezed in on the hitter a bit. So they're looking to pitch on the outside of the plate.
Well, Turudi came around and maybe thought against it, I'm not sure, but they say yes, he went past the middle. So that will be a strikeout, and that's going to bring to bat the centre fielder, Norkai de Malmonch.
And again, positional change in the infield, so that was a strategy there. Field has.
Big swing and a miss from de Malmonch for the strike 1. New Zealand want to claw back that 1 run that Australia got in the last innings in their last at bat. Now's the time to do it. Leaves that out of the zone for the 1-1. Malmonch struck out in his first at bat, as did others. Maluga on the hill here, getting into his work. Another swing and a miss on the down and 0. 1-2. Two down here with a runner in scoring position for New Zealand. Gets a piece centre to right field where Jonathan Fabar makes some ground and the catch to retire the side, leaving 1 runner on for New Zealand. But that will do it. We have 3 completed with Australia leading 1-0. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're at the top of the fourth here in the New Zealand versus Australia U18s, the Trans-Tasman series here at Colquhoun Park in Palmerston North. You're watching Beyond the Dugout broadcasting, coming to you live from Diamond 1. Amy Collins with the play-by-play, Jackie Smith with the colour. We're to Ezekiel Turnbull from the hot corner for this Australian side, who goes at the first pitch and gets it under the glove of Joseph Hill at shortstop. So Turnbull leading off with the base hits.
Here we see the replay. Good hard hit here by Turnbull. Getting onto that hit through shortstop. So they know too that he likes to get ahead, right?
Yep.
So now you're thinking that first pitch is there. That's what we want to be sitting on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, attack that pitch if it's there.
Yeah, a lot of pitchers do tend to throw a strike first pitch, depending on, and it looks like another one going at the first pitch for Bar, Jonathan Fabar, the right fielder, who's made a couple catches to retire this New Zealand side and a couple innings so far.
Yeah, you can either sit, it's your choice. You got three opportunities.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you can sit and wait and go deeper in the count, or you can get in early.
Bunt goes down, fielded by McCartney, who gets it over to, out of the glove of Rieko Ratu. Very uncharacteristic from Ratu there at second base. Ball first.
Here we see the bunt go down. Good bunt too. Good bunt. Pitcher coming to make the play. We've talked about the pitchers having to make a lot of plays here. And the throw was, look, and I think it's on the transfer. See there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just starting to turn the body and think about the runner at two. Catch the ball first.
Well, he's going to go out and question it.
Yeah, he wasn't happy, and that's what he might be asking, right? Caught the ball and it was on the transfer.
It's on the transfer. It's an out. And like I said, very uncharacteristic from Rieko Ratu if he didn't have that ball first. So
you can just
glove
see that he goes there.
out all day. Hard to tell from that angle.
The umpire at first certainly was in the best angle, very close.
Well, the umpires have come in to have a quick corridor about this. Oh, the umpire mic. Of course.
Okay, I'm not going to change points. I'm going to put the outfield fly.
Well, there you have it. He ain't going to change his decision. Isaac Fletcher comes out to have a word as well, and umpire runs away. Isaac's definitely to the point sometimes. All right, well, Australia, good start. Have runners on 1 and 2. Max Hayhow into bat now, the left fielder. Struck out on his first attempt, first at bat. That one down in the dirt and off Mason Carey. He'll have to run back to the screen to tidy that up. And Fabar is now safe on second base with Turnbull at third. Carney into his fourth innings on the hill here for New Zealand. Swung on a miss there from Hayhow.
Good glove work there by the catcher. Mason Carey.
Swung on, and that will go foul, bouncing off the plate.
Good battle going on here, Damien.
Yeah, seeing a bit more pitches with this batter. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the call. Runners in scoring position for Australia with none down here in the top of the 4th. Hayhow gets a piece, shallow centre field where de Melmonte has to make a lot of ground, and it just falls just in front of him there. So good hit from Hayhow, and that will bring in the second run here of Turnbull for Australia.
And then we see the replay, having to make lots of ground, as you said. Keeping the ball in front, though, really, really important. Trapping that ball, don't let it get behind you, because that runner was held up at 2.
Yeah, he didn't go anywhere just in case. But Turnbull tagged up, and as soon as the ball dropped in front of de Melmonte at centre field, Turnbull put on the Jets to get home and score that second important run for Australia. And there you go. 1 pitch later, and Australia have 2 more runners in scoring position. And what I've seen over this 18 side over the last couple of days from Australia, you give them an inch, they will take a mile.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then here we see just runners on base and applying pressure. Yeah. Unfortunately, just little things like that will happen.
Well, there's a bit of activity in the bullpen with a couple of pitchers warming up. A lefty and a righty. Foul back.
Yeah, so we've certainly seen some momentum shift here, haven't we?
We have, yep.
Australia, they started it off in the last inning and just continuing in this inning just to apply some pressure to the New Zealand team. But look, they just have to weather the storm.
That they do, that they do. They need to get an out here. McCartney pulls the strings, foul back. That'll take the count to 1 ball, 2. McCartney started with his in a roar, but just like you can imagine with any international side, batters want to see him and change everything their second at bat or what they've learned from that first at bat, and it appears that this Australian side has done just that.
Yeah, so they've adapted to the pitching, or they've talked about it, they've been patient, all of the above when it's required. They've also been aggressive. No, at the start of the inning, they got in early on those early strikes from McCartney. McCartney also, too, just has to trust his field here.
That's exactly it.
Stick to the plan, hit the locations, and let your field also do some work.
Yeah, it's not your under-17 team at club ball, right? You don't have to do everything yourself. You've got the best fielders in your age group in the country around you. Just trust your field.
Yeah, that's it. And trust the plan and the strategy. You talked about that very early in the game. And also the process, that your players know what to do and they've got the skills.
Absolutely. McCartney just losing the zone a little bit here. Carter Shears, the shortstop, seeing a few pitches.
Yeah, and he just needs to push through, right? If he can just get through this inning. We know the New Zealand team, as you said, have got a couple of pitchers warming up.
Full house. Gets a piece in here to right field, foul ball. Well, the count's going to remain full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here in the top of the 4th. None down with 2 runners in scoring position. Carter Shears scored the first run of the last innings. He did that by getting a walk. So disciplined batting here from Shears, and see some pitches and foul off a few more.
Ooh, just missed that one.
just missing the zone there, did McCartney, which will give Carter Shears his second walk of the game. And that will load the bases here for the Junior Steelers. And it looks like the coaches are going to make a, well, if he's not going to have a quick talk, he might actually make a change. No, he's got the ball off McCartney, so that will do it for James McCartney. Giving us 4 innings of work on the hill here.
Certainly was work. Certainly was working out there.
Yeah, he did. Had
good strong start.
Yeah, very, very strong. But this quality junior Steelers team here from Australia, and they've shown all weekend long that they can do it. Just got on top of him and having to make New Zealand to make the change. And Toby Smith, the lefty from down south, coming into the game. And that pitching change brought to you by Beyond the Dugout Broadcasting. We'll have a quick break. We'll be back right after these.
Come on, Bert.
Sometimes virtual reality begs for more reality. Jack Links is good with it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the pitching change on the hill now is Toby Smith, but you see young Tyrone Robertson warming up in the bullpen, kind of, the field next to us.
Out to the side.
It actually does have bullpens here.
Oh, and straight off the bat, first pitch.
Well, that's one thing Mason Carey has never been afraid to do, is throw that ball.
Throw the ball. Very accurate too, and if you've got an arm like him and he's quick out of the crouch catcher's position.
It's got a great no look as well to first.
Yeah, nice. Nice, and just again keeps your runners honest.
Well, Lachlan Tetheridge into bat now. We had Lockie into the booth yesterday. Only been playing the game for about 3.5 years, he reckons.
3.5 years, eh? And here he is playing for his country.
Pretty cool.
Talked about how he's happy and pleased. He's made the shift. He's enjoying it.
Played a lot of baseball growing up and a bit of AFL. From Perth, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right, from Perth.
Well-known surname in Softball Australia circles. See on the screen, Auntie Annie.
Auntie Annie. Yeah.
The Toby Smith. Facing his first batter of this competition, coming in with none outs, bases loaded. Not an ideal situation for a pitcher. Over the shoulder of the scorers. Oh, it's Chopper walking around with his phone. We got another angle with Chop, do we? We just keep on upping the game here. New Zealand really want to get an out here. Tetheridge been hitting the ball sweetly. He gives that a hack to left field. Australia will tag up and score their third run. Well, I tell you, that Tetheridge kid, he can put back to ball. The sacrifice plays he's been making throughout this tournament have just been awesome.
And then we see that replay really getting onto that pitch, driving it to left field. Runner at 3 is going to tag up and score on the catch.
Well, Jonathan Fabar is the third scorer of this game here. And now that's going to bring to bat top of the order Austin Gooden with 1 down and runners on 1 and 2. Outside pitch from Toby Smith for the first ball. This young Australian Steelers team have really shown that they've got the goods over this weekend. Those first 2 wins over the New Zealand team were very convincing. Good hit, hard hit to centre right. That's going to bring in surely 1, 2. Big overthrow there from Joseph Hill, but not before the designated player Austin Gooden comes in, pumps 1 to the outfield, and that scores 2 more runs for Australia.
And perfect timing there. See, he just sat back and drove that pitch out to centre right field.
And
Great
now,
throw into the cut play. Unfortunately, that throw into home plate was off, scoring 2 runs for Australia.
yeah, we've talked about the pressure that they can make happen, and still only 1 down here in the top of the 4th. Australia on a roll here.
Oh,
That's one way to answer back Toby Smith by drilling Thomas McCarroll in the back.
we see here, and the pitcher, and just yeah, that was
Just
certainly
getting
going straight at him.
just getting lefty pitcher,
Losing
lefty
side of the plate.
lefty pitcher throwing to a lefty batter.
And they're certainly on a roll at the moment, aren't they, Damien, the Australian team? Keeping the momentum going.
Yeah, what momentum they have at the moment. Just 1 down here. Runners on the corners for Australia. Toby Smith into his 4th batter of this competition. They go for the out and just throw it to the outfield. Unfortunately, Mason Carey with that cannon of his, just a bit too much power, sending it over Joseph Hill and Rico Ratu. So that will score another one for Australia. 6 runs to 0. And let's welcome into the booth our second guest of this competition from the WBSA, Kathy Kerr. G'day, Kathy.
G'day, Kathy. Nice to see you.
Likewise.
How are we adjusting? It's been a hectic one for you.
Yeah, it hasn't been too bad. The weather's always a bit of a challenge, but we're here at the end of the day, and that's the main thing.
Put that on the weather count. We have maybe mentioned it a couple times already. But what? First time at Colquhoun? No.
Yes, first time at Colquhoun.
Yeah. How are you finding it? Yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful facility.
Isn't it?
It's the grounds are outstanding. The local organising committee is outstanding, and it's been a great couple of days. You know, given the weather, but we play an outdoor sport, so
Of course.
we've got to expect the weather's going to play some sort of contribute to our sport somehow. So. Yeah, anything that we've needed, the local organising committee stepped up and made the job very easy.
Outstanding. Kathy, you're here representing the WBSC. So what do you do with the WBSC?
I'm privileged enough to be one of the technical commissioners, and for this tournament that one of the technical delegate couldn't turn up, and I was offered the position and took it. It's certainly a privilege to do it.
Awesome, and it's great to have you here. Now tell me, for our listeners at home, you're obviously from another country, and so where exactly are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Sydney,
Yeah.
So it wasn't too far to come over.
Wasn't? Yeah, no.
So it's just it's actually closer to come here than it is to travel to Perth. So.
Yeah, yeah. And well, actually, we were just talking about Lachlan Tethridge, who his family's from Perth. He told us a little bit about them. So, in your role with the WBSC, do you get to travel a bit to a number of tournaments, though?
I haven't long been doing it. I went to the Group B qualifier last year in Prince Albert in Canada, and that was certainly a great experience.
About the technical role, again, just for people listening, what exactly are you responsible for when you're at one of these tournaments? What makes a successful tournament for the WBSC?
I think everybody working together, but the role we have is to ensure that the WBSC protocols are adhered to, game goes on time, and in the end, everybody's happy.
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, fantastic. And so WBSC is World Softball Baseball Confederation. How does that all work? How does the softball and the baseball confederation work together?
Well, they're obviously the governing bodies, WBSC, and everything is working intertwined.
Yeah,
There's sort of no separate bodies anymore, and they all work. They bounce between events. The WBSC staff, from my understanding, bounce between different events. So it's all working and adhering very well.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, isn't it? And I just asked that, Kathy, because back in my day we weren't combined. No. Yeah, it was quite different. But since we have been, I think it's great. I'm fortunate to still be involved, not as a player, but as a supporter, volunteer, and obviously now broadcasting. But it's great to have such a supporting confederation world.
Yeah. And I think all the protocols they've got in place, it's only to basically ensure that the sport is presented in the right way. And I think that comes down to the players, to broadcast, to the officials. I think it's a wide range of people that make the sport, what it is.
Yeah. So apart from the ballpark, have you had a chance to get around Palmerston North or?
No, unfortunately not. Not with the.
That's usually what happens.
Yeah, I think in Prince Albert I saw 3 roads.
Right.
Turned right out of the motel, right at the casino, and then left into the street the ballpark was on. So it's been a little bit similar here. A couple of the drivers take a different way. I've seen a little bit more of Palmerston North. Depending on which route they take.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Kathy, thank you so much for coming in and joining us in the booth and everything you've done over the last few days. Been awesome having you here, and what's been happening has been great.
No worries at all. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Kathy.
Kathy Kerr, the technical commissioner for the WBSC here at the Oceania qualifier. Few foul balls, but this one's going to be popped up. And Rico Rasu makes that play. But ladies and gentlemen, Blake Turner was the last out. Ezekiel Turnbull would have been the next batter. So 9 batters were faced in that innings with 4 runs scored, 1 left on. Australia lead this one 6-0. We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th right after these. No mai, haere mai, welcome back here to Colquhoun Park in Palmerston North. You were watching New Zealand versus Australia in the U18s. And here you have the strikeouts of Jackson Maluga. There's been a few of them. And we're here at the bottom of the fourth now. New Zealand need to make something happen here after that big couple innings here from Australia. They're now leading this game 6-0. Mason Carey into bat now. The catcher had a big fly ball to right field in his first at-bats. And pretty much one of the only ones that's actually hit the ball off Malunga in this one.
And look, really important now, Damien, that the New Zealand team just keep composed. Don't get too anxious or excited about needing to chase those runs. Just one at a time, go through basic fundamentals, see the ball, hit the ball, get runners on base. If they press too much, they're going to, like Australia, Maluga's going to want them to just hit pitches that they shouldn't really be hitting,
Yep.
So just tighten up. Be patient.
That is it. That is it. Mason Carey, someone needs to step up and be that X factor right now. And if anyone can, well, he's going to take the walk. So nothing wrong about that, being the leadoff and being able to make your way to first base. And with runner on one, that's going to bring to bat the right fielder, Gabriel Tahi, who got a walk in his first at-bat, was the first runner on base, but also the first runner left on base for this junior Black Sox team. Tahi goes at the first pitch, fouls that one back. And falls down just behind it, just in front of us here. Tahi out of Ramblers in Auckland. Sees that one, clip the zone for the strike called.
So the next piece here, which is important for New Zealand, is they need to be hitting together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
hit for your team.
That's it. Everyone has a role to play here. So they've got a runner on base. They need to move that runner. Caught looking at that one.
He did indeed. Bat sat on the shoulder and saw it go through the zone for the strikeout called. And that's going to be one down with Mason Carey on first base still. That's going to bring us back Cole McWilliams from Counties Monaco. Off speed there from Maluga, popped up from McWilliams, caught by Fabar in right field. Mason Carey tags up and doesn't go anywhere. And that's a quick 1-2.
1-2.
And I think someone's going to come out and run for Mason.
Yeah, we saw him when he was going up. There was a replay there. And he just took a little bit of a breath at the first base after walking up to first. So it looked like he was, without knowing, struggling a little bit.
Cole McWilliams now on first base. That's going to bring to bat the second baseman, Rico Ratu.
And that change also just gives Carey as the catcher
Yeah.
the break, right?
Got to get the gears on.
He's been doing the hard yards behind the plate there.
They do indeed. They do indeed. Ratu fouls that off. Young man from Canterbury. Real talent to watch in this country. Dad Stephen, part of the White Sox setup now. And sees that clip the corner for the strikeout called. And that will retire side, leaving one runner on. 4 up and 3 down. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with the top of the 5th right after these.
Being a Manawatū local, supporting our community is at the heart of everything we do. From the Aotearoa Hospice, Just Silch, and Replay connecting second-hand sports gear, we make giving back our mission. Thank you for all the great feedback with over 1,500 5-star reviews. It's a great reward for our team that their hard work is acknowledged by our customers. And now with the addition of Order Care, we're a one-stop shop. The team are proud to have grown alongside the community, and with your continued support, we look forward to the journey ahead.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Colquhoun Park. You're watching the U18 Trans-Tasman Series between New Zealand and Australia. There's another pitching change on the hill for New Zealand coming into the game, number 11, poor Darlington. It might be Thor when you're looking at it on paper, but it's pronounced Tor. Well, we're back at another innings here, the top of the fifth. Ezekiel Turnbull, who was lead off in the last innings as well. 9 batters up for Australia, 5 runs, 1 left on.
Yeah, they certainly did some damage in that inning, didn't they?
Well, it looks like they're here to play again. Ezekiel Turnbull sending it to right field on the bounce to Tate. And he'll be safe on first base.
That's certainly hot for the Australian team. They'll be happy with that. This will be the reverse role for New Zealand. They'll be wanting to speed up the defensive innings they have and get off the diamond and get back in and hit. Australia obviously want to stay out there. Oh, that hit his foot. Play it out, play it out.
Well, the double play
Nice
for
double
Bar.
play.
I was gonna say, surely it hit my foot.
The umpires are just going to have a little chat. We'll see what they discuss.
Did you guys see that come off the foot? 'Cause I think I'm going to turn it around. Dead ball!
There we go.
Well, I know he tried to cover that mic, but we heard it.
Yeah, just tried to, just gets a different view, get the support of his base umpires. It clearly went down and hit his foot.
And
Nice
now
double play there,
Isaac
though.
Fletcher's going to come out and have a word.
Yeah.
Look, we've made it.
No, I'm just asking. So
probably
I know it's a
rain.
fucking judgment.
And we'll come back to us. Isaac Fletcher, a season campaigner.
Yeah, and coaches, I guess, have a right to be able to come out and ask the question, have a conversation.
Yep.
But that's why you have 3 umpires, you
Oh,
have a
100%.
court order,
Yep.
you have a discussion, and you come to an agreement, is what it is. And it's a, judgment call, it hit the foot or it didn't.
Well, for Bar, hit into a double play, but did go off his foot. So they call dead ball. Australia get their 2 outs back. This goes up the middle and just out of reach of the middles. Joseph Hill couldn't get to it in time. Ball is thrown. All right, they called obstruction. But the runner didn't attempt to run, so he's safe on third, and that's why the coach was screaming, go, go, go.
Go, go, go.
For those watching at home, if you do get obstruction, you've got nothing to lose by trying to get to home, because if you're out at home, then you're not. You're safe.
Yeah, because they've called the obstruction,
Yep.
yeah. They call it nice and early with the arm signal. Yeah. But this is interesting, though, right? Because you can see why the coach would have come out and
Yeah.
had a discussion,
100%.
questioned the double play, because straight after the double play, you get a hit up the middle, and this is what happens. So.
Yep, Fabar now, hit into a double play, now standing on second base, heading into a stand-up double. De Melmont with the cannon from centre field to third. Tururi unable to make the grab. But the runner held up anyway. So Australia with runners on 3 and 2. None down here on the top of the 5th. New Zealand do not want Australia to get that 7th run. Goes up to left field. Tagged up does Australia. They hit the cutoff. So Turnbull safe at home with his second crossing of home plate in this ball game. And then Hayhow is the first out by being caught by Hunter Bailey in at left field.
And there's your replay. Fly ball out to left field. Coming up with the catch and cut by shortstop.
Well, 1 down and a runner on 2. That's going to bring to bat Carter Shears, who's been walked in both his last at-bats and also crossed home plate twice. Carter Shears, the shortstop here for the Junior Steelers. On the hill toward Darlington, the third pitcher for this New Zealand side. And they have a 4th warming up in the bullpen.
Wonder how many times he gets called Thor.
Yeah. A lot, because I heard Chopper say it before.
Yes.
Yep.
Not a bad name to have either.
No, what is it, God of Thunder or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Pulls the string, and that's going to hop into left field.
No
Hunter
catch.
Bailey, no, gets it on the bounce there. So Shears will be on base for the 3rd time out of 3 in this game. And with 2 runners on, 1 down here in the top of the 5th, that's going to bring to bat another dangerous batter for this Australian U18 side in Lachlan Tetheridge. Gets a piece, sending it to shortstop, who tries to get the double. They get the outs at second base, but no one's there at second. So then Tetheridge, with the eyes up, who was safe at first, goes running into second base. So they got the out of Shears going sliding into second base with the force. Lachlan Tetheridge is now safe on second base. Jonathan Fabar is safe on 3rd. And that's going to bring to bat the top of the order designated player, Austin Gooden. Goes at the first pitch, hits that foul. Well, he struck out looking in his first at-bat, was caught by the shortstop in his second, and then had a great triple, hit a great triple to the 8-9 spots, which started that momentum. Got a couple more runs in the top of the 4th, sorry.
Yeah, and they're going at anything that's close here.
Yep.
They're pretty aggressive with the bat at the moment. Here we see that replay there just in the corner of your screen. Taking the out on the force at 2.
Yeah, even that was very close.
And Tetheridge was safe at first, and then saw that after that play at third base, second was left open.
Trying to take some pace off that one up in the zone. Big foul ball there from...
Yeah. You see they're chasing.
Yep.
The strike zone's got bigger for them now, right?
Yep.
They've got runs. They've got a bit more confident. Hey, we can open up here. We'll have a go at anything that's close.
Yep.
Or that I think that I can hit.
Yep.
Yeah?
Darlington gets his call into the wind-up. Just out inside for the ball. Well, A little bit more wind is picked up and it's coming into the diamond now. There's those flagged indicators in the background. Down low for ball. Austin Gooden. Set in the batter's box. Darlington pulls the strings on that. Gooden finds no man's land in the outfield and scores the 2, plus gets himself to second base. And Australia just finding a way, any way they can, to make things happen in this one.
Here we see the replay. Just getting onto that pitch. Looked like a little bit of an off pitch here, but got down to it. And it's just that little looper between the infield and outfield, which is always challenging as fielders, and missing that play at 2 on the throw. This is what can happen. It's just pressure after pressure on the fielding team on New Zealand.
That's the one. Outside pitch for ball. Well, Australia up here in the top of the 5th, 9 runs to 0. So we're well into run rule now. New Zealand will have to get a couple runs in there at bats to continue this game on. But first and foremost, they need that 3rd out to happen. And it's getting a little bit harder here for New Zealand. Thomas McCarroll here, the centre fielder, struck out looking in his first at bat. Got a hit to right field and then hit by pitch. Popped up back to the clubhouse or the car park.
Or both.
Or both.
Need a ball. Need a ball. Yeah. You're all over in the car park.
Always check the pitcher's gear bags. The match balls are always in the pitcher's gear bags.
Well, interesting. Should have obviously not got back, because umpire would generally have one in his pocket.
He's usually got a backup. The official scorers usually have a backup.
That's always possible.
And there's been a few foul balls that maybe haven't come back. Oh, here's one.
Comes one. Maybe
Here's another.
a much needed little break here anyway.
Yeah,
to stop the momentum a little bit here.
Faced 9 batters in the last innings. We're already up to the 6th batter here, 7th batter, sorry, with Thomas McCarroll in the batter's box. Strike 2. And dribbler back to Darlington on the hill, who makes the play over to McWilliams for the 3rd out, but not before Australia add another 3 runs. They lead this one 9 runs to 0. New Zealand answer back in the bottom of the 5th right after these. No mai, haere mai. Welcome back here to Colquhoun Park in Palmerston North, Manawatū, for the Trans-Tasman series between New Zealand and Australia in the U18s. This is game number 4, with Australia got the lead in the series 2-1. They are leading this one 9-0. This is New Zealand's chance to continue on this game. Of course, the run rule: 15 after 3, 10 after 4, 7 after 5. Australia well above that 7. So New Zealand, to continue this game on, would need to score 3 runs. And they're down to their last 2 outs, maybe. Hunter Bailey goes down swinging.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tough, especially with Maluga on the mound. He's definitely pitched a good game today.
Absolutely.
Contained the New Zealand hitters.
Yeah, they really haven't had an answer for them, have they? The lefty from Australia. That was actually strikeout number 8. Looking at my board. Oh, there you go. There's a hit that we needed. Not we, sorry, I'm an impartial commentator, of course. Romana Kumuroa, the designated player, doing what he has to do. That's the second time.
Second time on base.
Yep. Will he get a runner this time? Joseph Hill into bat now, the shortstop from the Junior Black Sox.
Yeah, you see there, I was getting through when he last got on base. It looks like he's got just a little bit of a tweak to the knee, and they replaced him. Just giving it a little shake again, so maybe they will replace him, maybe not.
Poor Stad. Wow, just outside again for the strike called. Really getting that corner is Maluga here. The junior Kiwis, junior Black Sox, not really having any answers for him at the moment. Oh, hit into first base, could turn the double, but they don't. So Kumuroa, yeah, you see he does have a bit of a knee problem there.
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, he's just struggling with that a little bit, but doing his job, getting on base.
Yeah.
Just unable to convert that, move him around.
Well, Joseph Hill's going to be safe on first. And with 2 down, a runner on 1. Coach is going to make a pinch hit with Holder Cooper Nicola coming into the game. The younger Cooper Nicola, of course, Big Bro getting named in the Black Sox yesterday, or the day before, sorry, to Kitika.
Opportunity here for Cooper Nicola to create something.
From the Roosters Club in North Harbour. Another good kid that's in our game coming up.
And that's what we've been seeing, isn't it, Damien? Yeah. It's, we've certainly, as Stacey talked about, seeing some really good talent coming through. Athletes.
Good characters.
Good character, turning them into great softballers for New Zealand.
That's it.
It's our future.
Cooper Nicola has gone through the system here, was a developing Sox in New Zealand for a couple of years before making the jump to the juniors. Oh, gets him looking with that one. And now New Zealand in a tricky position here with 1 runner on, down by 9 in the bottom of the bottom of the 5th. 2-2 count. And he goes down swinging, does Cooper Nicola, and that will retire the side and end this one here with 5 innings completed. The Australian under-18 Junior Steelers getting the dub over the Junior Black Sox, 9-0. Jackie.
Yeah, well, look, you've got to take your hat off to the Australian under-18 men's team, don't you? And the way
absolutely.
they came out in this game, really taking it to New Zealand, but particularly Maluga. You know, Maluga on the mound really was the star for Australia. 9 strikeouts, which you talked about, you touched on. And here we see again and again, really on form.
Yeah.
And that's what you need. But then you need the backup from your hitters.
Absolutely.
And those couple of innings there, you know, they really took it to New Zealand. The 4th and the 5th inning, scoring 5 runs and then backing that up with another 3. So game hitting, players hitting together, and Maluga on the mound was the difference for Australia.
Oh, absolutely. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Game 4 between these two teams in the bag, with Australia going up in the series 3-1. So they've got the best of 5. They still have a game to play at 3 p.m. on Diamond 2. So if you are around, you can come down and have a look-see at that one on Diamond 2. But coming up is the big one on Diamond 1. It is the New Zealand under-23s taking on the Australia under-23s. They are tied at 2 apiece. Game 5 at 3 p.m. Who will take home that top spot in the Oceania qualifier? If you come back and join us on Beyond the Dugout Broadcasting at 3 p.m, we'll show you everything that will happen. Thank you to the team behind the deck. Jackie Smith on colour and Damien Collins, myself on play-by-play. It's been an absolute pleasure. We will see you at 3 p.m. with the Major Sox and the under-23s from Australia.